If you guys came out last night to Fast Headquarters, the place was absolutely lit. And I'll tell you this, you guys, there's no other company out there that does it like us. And what's great about it is that you just see people from all walks of life coming together, having fun, breaking bread. Yeah, so it was just a really, really special time. And I want to give a shout out to everyone that came to our live role play session yesterday. We did live role play in the office. We sat in a giant circle. We had hot seat topics. People came with the absolute fire. So we're going to continue to do that in the sales and coaching department, whether it's me, whether it's Eric, whether it's a combination of us both, whether it's me, Eric, and Cynthia. It's just going to be something that we're going to do consistently because I saw how much you guys took out of it and I learned so much about you guys. So really, really good job. Congrats to everybody that stepped up. Let's do this, you guys. Let's go ahead and get started. We have a few guests on the line today, so I'll get to you in just a second. But Rakitha, I'm gonna go over to you. Rakitha, I love you. I appreciate you. It was really, really good seeing you yesterday. Really good to see Mom. She just has this sunny disposition. She always gives me the giant hug. So you tell her mad love to Moms. I don't even know Mom's name. I just call her Mom. What's Mom's name?
Ramona.
Ramona. See, I didn't even know that. You tell Ramona that I said hello this morning. But Rakitha, I'm going to have you take the team out of the tunnel and out on the field on this beautiful, beautiful Friday morning.
Happy Friday, team. It's Friday. It's Mother's Day weekend. It's time to celebrate. It's time to get that work done. I want to say, live every day like it's your last. Today, I'm celebrating a cousin who next week, it'll make 1 year she passed away. We never know when it's our last day. So just get out there, live every day like it's your last, enjoy and experience, feel the experience. Have a great Friday.
You know what, I thank you. Thank you for saying that. And sometimes we go. And first off, condolences to you and your family. And you know, the universe said, hey, call on Rakitha, and here you are putting us all into a state. And so Rakitha, I appreciate that reminder and thank you for sharing that. So you guys, I got a lot of thoughts today. I have a lot of things that are on my mind and I want to get them off my mind. And a lot of them are coming from some of the books that I'm reading right now. But before I do so, I see some guests on the line. I don't know who you are, so I want to say a quick hello to a couple people. Marissa, hi, how are you? We spoke yesterday, but I didn't get an opportunity to see you. How are you?
Oh, okay, there you go. Now you can hear me.
How you doing?
Yes, nice to see you. I'm Marissa.
Hi, Marissa. Officially, nice to see you. Thank you for being here. Hopefully you get something of value from our time together today. So I appreciate you being here. Cliff, what's up, big dog? Thanks for being here. How you doing, brother?
Hey, good morning. I'm doing great, man. A little tired, got a teething baby at home, not much sleep. I wanted that camera off real bad, but got it on. Want to soak up everything today and check it out.
All right, cool, brother. And show everybody, for the people that haven't seen the hat. Can we see the hat really quick, bro? What's it say on the front of it?
Oh, it's a different hat today, but the other one, God, Guns, and Diapers, yeah.
God's Guns and Diapers, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
well, I appreciate you being here. And shout out to all of our other guests that are on the line today. There's tons and tons of people here. So if you've never been to group coaching, thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up and thank you for participating. And thank you for your contributions if you do choose to contribute in any way. So let's do this. First and foremost, I don't like to share my screen sometimes, but in this case, I'm going to do this and hang tight really quick. I'm going to share my screen. I saw this morning and I thought it was relative to what we do here in group coaching. So I'm going to turn it over to the one and only.
If you ever get distracted, would you get distracted if you saw Rihanna and Cara sitting courtside?
I gotta be honest though.
I gotta be honest. Listen, man.
When I'm playing, I'm about my business.
Really?
Oh yeah, I'm about my business.
You don't even notice anyone. We're like, even when Jack Nicholson sat there.
Nah, the only thing I notice before every game is I look up at the championship banners, think about adding more. That's it.
All right, guys, I thought that was powerful. You know, rest in peace, Kobe, and he was an absolute legend. But he made himself to be that, and it was because of his work ethic and what he was committed to every single day. right? A lot of times we see these people and we see their successes, be like, man, they were just born differently, or they were just different than I am. But no, they just worked their asses off to get where they were. And I thought that was powerful. It's like no distractions. And why I bring this up is because we're going to talk a lot about prospecting this morning. It happens to so many people, right? Ooh, got my scripts, I got my coffee, I said my incantations or whatever it is, and now I'm prepped and I'm ready to go and prospect. All right, here we go. Phone call number one. No, they said no, it's all right. I'm gonna get to the next one. Hey, oh shoot. Oh my God, Vanessa just posted this reel. Okay, hold on, I gotta watch this. Oh, that's so funny. Oh my God, something, oh, let me do this, let me change. Like something happens that distracts us when we are doing the things that are so important to our business, that are essentially going to move us forward, that are essentially going to make us money, and essentially move us closer to our financial dreams, but we let something distract us. By show of hands, how many people, or give me a reaction below on the reaction buttons below, how many people have ever allowed themselves to, in most important time of them driving and building their business, have allowed themselves to get distracted? Please be honest with me with the reaction. And okay, cool. And I'll do the same thing in my career. I have done that as well. You guys have to find it within yourself to say blinders to the world, and my head is down and I am focused on nothing other than this 1 hour to produce results for my business. That's it. Kids, I love you. You guys, I don't care if there is things going on behind me. If there's a cat, if it's my son, if it's my lady, bye, everyone out. Like I am in my bubble. The family knows when I am speaking right here to you guys, nothing else matters. Like nothing. Blinders on. When I'm in a coaching session, blinders on. When we're on stage, blinders on. When I'm engaged with you guys, blinders on, because that is the highest and best use of my time for that moment. And all of my energy, focus, and attention needs to go to that moment. You guys need to have that same focus. But like I am out of the office for the next hour. Mommy, daddy, we are out of the office, and let everyone know around you. You want to talk? You want to chop it up? Cool, man. No, I don't want to go have noodles, but I love you guys. I'll see you after. You want to have a shot? I'll have a shot after I get to my 50 calls, right? You guys have to be so focused and so determined that no, you guys want to hang out. No, I'm going to go and shoot some shots because I didn't, I missed a couple shots this game. You guys have to be committed to this. I saw that video and I'm reading a book right now. I'm actually reading 2 books right now, and I'm going to highly, highly encourage you. And I know I always suggest books to you. First things first, has anybody read this book? I see Clarence shaking his head yes, and I see Ernesto shaking his head yes. Okay, oh, look at this. Fucking great minds think alike. I love you guys. Okay, so I'm pumped about this. So I'm gonna go to you, Ernesto, really quick. Like, how long have you been reading this book, or have you read it? Have you completed this book? Tell me a little bit about this.
Yeah, what's funny? I read it about 1.5 years ago when I was getting ready to become a realtor. And sometimes, like the thing with books, and I got a bunch of them behind me, you don't always remember you don't remember everything in the book, but you kind of remember how that book made you feel. And when I was done with that book, I was like, fuck, I've been overthinking calling people like crazy. And like literally when I was done with that book, I was just like, man, this is way easier. So like yesterday we were doing the live role play, and a lot of people give me positive feedback for my cold calling skills or whatever your opinion may be. The point is, like, there was a time where I was really bad at these things, and I made the commitment to want to get better at it. And I started asking friends, hey, what books helped you get over your hump? A couple people recommended that book. I picked it up, and yeah, I just feel like, oh my God, I'm overthinking the shit out of this. I can do this. It's fun. If I can do it undistracted for 2 hours a day, I'll be miles apart from anybody else.
I love this. You know what? I was surprised. I was like, as much reading and stuff that I come across, I was like, why the heck have I never heard of this book? But that's why I sit in masterminds. I'm like, there's 500 other people that are in this room. Like, wow, I heard this. And then I'm on a generals group on Wednesdays, and somebody mentioned that. And I was like, fuck, let me get that book. Rakitha, you put your hand up, you put your book up. Let's hear from you really quick.
So Ernesto, when I first joined one of the coaching calls, he recommended the book. So I went ahead and bought it because I'm like, if he said that he had a problem speaking, I'm like, no way. He's very well spoken. He has so much confidence. I can't believe that he ever had a problem. So I was like, you know what? Let me grab that book. So I'm like 30 pages in because I'm reading Winning Too. And it just says you have to get out there, really not give a fuck, and just interrupt people's day. You can't think about like, well, if I call them, what if they're doing this or what if they're doing that? Just make the call. And I know like I need to hear that and I need to read it so that I can implement it.
I love this. I love this. Has anybody else tapped into this book? Clarence, let's hear from you, bro. I saw your hand go up first, man. Let's hear from you.
Man, I mean, out of all the books, I mean, when we read Tim Grover's Winning, it's because I wanted to read it. You know, the only reason why I picked this book up is because you were holding it up in the chat. And I didn't really think nothing of it, but I said, well, let me take a look at it. I'm currently reading it now, and I realize how much of a game changer it is out of all the books I've read in regards to real estate. I mean, what I really learned, even in the first couple of pages, is if you're prospecting now, you're not prospecting for like the month of May. You're prospecting for July results. You're prospecting for 2 or 3 months down the road. So if 2 or 3 months down the road, if everything dries up, you have to look back at what type of prospecting you did a couple of months ago. And it really drives home, just like you're alluding to, the importance of it, the importance of putting that time in. You know, if there's one hump, and what I'm not doing is that. So it's really driving home for me.
Man, I absolutely love that. You know what? You always hear people in this business like, you know, in October, right? I got to get those Christmas escrows, right? I got to get those Christmas escrows, right? Because you're forecasting where your business is going to be based on your efforts today, right? We know that you're not going to get a paycheck in the next couple of weeks if you just start prospecting at a high level. But if you do that consistently enough, you're going to have this pipeline. Great example. David Hiller, he's a new agent. He closed escrow yesterday, and in the same day, he opened escrow on 2 contracts, right? One of them was a $2.7 million contract, and he's a new agent. It's still within his first year. $2.7 million. You know what kind of payday that is for him? And he's still a new agent, right? So Clarence, I absolutely love this. Did I see one other hand that wanted to chime in on this topic? Sorry, did I miss you? All right, cool, you guys. I pulled up a couple things. I wanted to share this with you really quick. Christian, was that you? Was that a hand up or was that? Okay, cool. So let me share something with you guys because I put this together. I've been up really, really early this morning, and I just want to share this with you. So I took this from the book, and I wanted to share this with you. We like to think of our champions as idols and superheroes that were born different from us. We don't like to think of them as relatively ordinary people who made themselves extraordinary, right? Think about all of the great athletes in your life that you admire, that you look up to, the Michael Jordans of the world, the Tom Brady's of the world, the Steph Curry's of the world. None of them were any different than you. The things that separate them are 2 things. A, it's my mindset and how I look at success and what I'm committed to. And 2, the actions. Every single day is getting you closer to being the champion, the star. I'm going to have that world title. I'm going to be the best in the world, right? You declare that, and then you back that up with daily actions. That's it. It's really that simple. I promise you this. And this is not some theory, and this is not some hypothetical. I promise you this, Christian. If you committed every single day to prospect at the highest level, then you tracked, you measured, you looked at the things that were working and not working for you, you made adjustments along the way, and you committed to that, and you did that consistently, I promise you, you will have a fucking fruitful life and a fruitful career if you did that consistently. But what happens is that we get distracted. We let things interfere with us making that money and changing our lives. That's why as a coach, I try not to get frustrated. I get frustrated when somebody is not living up to their potential. When I see the babies on the screen, when I see all the things that you guys said that you want to achieve, and then for some reason, some block, some distraction doesn't allow you to prospect, doesn't allow you to make videos, doesn't allow you things that you said that you were going to do. I'm like, wait a minute, It's right there in front of you. So I want to share a couple more things with you guys. We're going to have some dialogue around this. So the worst enemies of every prospect are procrastination, perfectionism, and paralysis, right? We always hear this time and time again. So I took some notes here from the book. When we talk about procrastination, which refers to putting things off to do later and not doing them at all. By a show of hands, or give me a reaction down below. How many people put things off to do later and sometimes don't do them at all? Okay, thank you guys. And thank you for the people that are driving that are putting their hands up. Really, really appreciate your guys' honesty. And look at this, we have 12, 10, 13 people just chiming in on this. Okay, so the second one is perfectionism. And I hear this a lot with people from all different walks of life. I need to know everything before I can actually do that thing that you are suggesting that I do, Elias. I get it. I get having knowledge. I get having an understanding of processes, but I also understand the value in saying, Clarence, stand here. When I say hike, run, and run fast and move that dude out of the way that's in front of you. And then I'm gonna throw you the ball, turn around, the ball's gonna come. Okay, right? Instead of me going through the mathematic correlations of if you go 5 feet and then like, no, I can't teach you every single thing that's gonna come by experience. See that dude? Fucking hit him and get him out of your way. And then I'm gonna throw you the ball. You ready? I can't teach, you can't learn every single thing. You have to go out there, right? How am I going to tell you to be a great boxer if you never sparred with anybody? If you never stepped in the ring and actually saw when a punch is coming, how do I move? How do I counter? How can you actually do that? So stop being a perfectionist about everything. Don't be critical about yourself and all your work that it's impossible for you to move ahead. I thought that was powerful in the book because sometimes we are just perfectionists to a fault. We try to do things so perfectly that we end up not doing it all because it's just doesn't, it's not right. It's not my timing, whatever it is. So first one was procrastination, putting things off to do later, not doing them at all. And then perfectionism. We fall into that, you guys, but it's okay to drop the ball, right? What I want to see more and more from this team is that we're failing, and we're failing a lot, because you're going to learn so much about yourself. I promise you, Ernesto wasn't always good on the phones. There was a time where I wasn't that good on the phones. I remember that time, but I committed to it. And now I feel comfortable being on the phones in any type of scenario. And that's the type of confidence that I want from you guys. The last thing here is paralysis. Not taking action because you think way too much, and then nervousness and fear of failure stand in the way of you actually moving forward. How many people sometimes fall in the realm of being paralyzed with thinking too much? Has that ever happened to any of you guys? Yeah. Like we think all these things, and then what do? We just put ourselves in a position to not move forward because we're paralyzed by our own thoughts, beliefs, fear of failure. If you guys are not ready to fail in this business, and if you're not ready to get kicked in the gut, walk away from this business. And I say that, but I love you guys, and I mean that with all of my heart. If you're not ready to get gritty, take some knocks on the chin, I promise you guys, this shit is hard. This business is not for you if you're not willing to take the knocks on the chin. But I take it that you guys are here, you guys show up, you guys are doing the work, you guys are coming to script role playing. I believe that you guys are willing to step in the ring. That's why you guys are here. This shit is not for the faint. I'm gonna share this with you guys too. I'm gonna bring this back up. Okay, and I thought this was really, really important, so I wanted to share this with you guys. In sports, athletes are obsessed with statistics, as the difference between the first and second place is just sometimes a few seconds or a few centimeters. They know that by inspecting their numbers and tweaking them, they can improve their performance. When I say that right now, and Colette, is that a new hand? Because you always have some gems and some fire to drop. Is that a new hand or an old hand? Colette going once, Colette going twice. Okay.
Sorry, guys. I'm at the airport.
Oh, no worries.
No, it's probably an old one. I'll chime in as I can.
Okay, cool. You put yourself back on mute. Sorry, I just want to make sure I didn't miss your comment. All right, cool. So let's go back to this. Sorry about that, you guys. They know that by inspecting their numbers and tweaking them, they can improve their performance. Let's have this conversation because I think it's really, really important. How many people right now are truly tracking their performance as a professional in this business? Please give me a reaction below or hand up if you guys are truly tracking your performance right now. Okay, good. Jennifer Gibson is doing that. Cortez is doing that. Carla. So let me just ask a couple questions really quick, or a couple people. Jennifer Gibson, how are you currently tracking your performance? That way you can look at it in a completely different way.
Good morning. Sure. I am just tracking this using an actual, like a I just use Google spreadsheet. So how many calls I make to equal, basically tracking how many leads and how much prospecting I had to do to initiate one escrow. So that's the tracking that I do. Yeah.
And then what's your percentage right now? Do you have some actual stats you can share with us?
Yeah, so I have a 7% conversion rate. I'm on Zillow Flex, so that's what I'm talking about specifically. So
beautiful. I love it. That's a great conversion rate when the industry standard is 4%. So you're 3% higher than the industry standard. That's a win in itself. So good job, Jennifer Gibson. I saw some other people. Cortez, let's hear from you, brother.
Well, I just started tracking, so I've just been using Sisu, and that's yeah. But I haven't closed any deals yet. But I do have a client that we're looking for right now, a house. So, so I'm just starting cold call or anything yet. I guess I'll be starting that next week.
Good. I love it. What are some other ways that you guys can truly measure your performance in order to tweak that to get better? Any thoughts, any ideas on this? What are some other ways that you guys can track, whether you're in our environment, whether you're not in our environment? Give me some thoughts, you guys, because you have some tools right at your disposal. Obviously, Sisu is one of them. What are some other ways? All right, I'm just going to spit them out there. Nobody
like a calendar or something?
Okay, your calendar tracks your what? Tracks your activities. If you don't know how you're tracking your time, how are you actually saying if I am effective in what I'm doing if you have no way to gauge your time? That's a good one, Michael. I love that. Juan, let's hear from you, bro. What's a way that you are tracking or ways to measure what you are doing right now?
I would say, track your conversion on how many people you're talking on the phone, how many phone calls you're making, but how many people are you actually talking to?
Cool, perfect. I love this. I love this. Anybody else? So any ways that you're tracking right now to measure your success? All right, cool. So here's the things, you guys. You guys have an ability to record conversations in Follow Up Boss. If you guys are not recording it, you can simply record your own conversations on your phone. But here's the thing. How can you truly look yourself in the mirror? If you have a dialer, if you have an ability to make calls through a CRM, it is imperative to your own growth to sit there and say, I'm going to make calls. And as soon as I finish a conversation with somebody, I want to house all of those recordings and I want to go back and listen. By show of hands, how many people have ever listened to themselves on the phone because you had a recording of yourself? Has anybody ever done that? Is it safe to say that it is in a very introspective way, because you get to hear the nuances, the things that you say, the ums, the ahs, the so's, the pauses, the word, like, wow, do I really fucking sound like that? Or damn, I sound really good, right? I promise you guys, if you record your conversations, you are going to elevate your own business, because you can say, hey, Elias, I have not been booking any appointments. Here's 10 calls. Can we go through these past 10 calls? And I want you to tell me what you think you hear. You hear things, I'll hear things like, oh, there it is right then. They said they weren't interested and you did the whole let me know. There's always going to be ways for you to improve, but I would recommend that you record. Follow Up Boss. Follow Up Boss will show you how many times you're reaching these people, and it'll show you what your conversions are. Your MailChimp. If you do not have MailChimp right now, if you do not have any way to track what your email open rate is, then there's an opportunity for growth right there. You will know, is what I'm writing and providing to consumers, is that hitting? The only way that you'll know is like if they're opening them, how often, every single time, are they opening your emails? Are they opening your emails? And if you have a high open rate, it means that your subject line and your copy is probably really, really good, right? And if it's not, there's a way for you to enhance. Like, man, my subject line is not hitting at all. It's dry. There's no hook in my subject line. That's a way for you to analyze to get better. Analyze top hooks. Ask the Kyle Whistles of the world. Ask the John Cheplaks of the world, like, hey, what is my copy like? And how can I improve that, right? Because I'm not going to spend all this time creating this cool message and all these links and all this stuff and this great blog and personal blog, and I get a 4% open rate, right? It's because my hook wasn't strong enough. I didn't grab them with that hook to say, you know what, I actually want to see what Ernesto wrote, because that hook has got me, right? Are you looking at your social media and are you saying how many likes, comments, and engagement am I getting from my post? This is something that everyone can do, and they can do that on a daily. We sometimes have created videos, and let me just get a quick show of hands. How many people have created a fire video you felt and got zero reactions and engagement from that video? Has that ever happened to anybody? Thank you, Melody, for your honesty. Go ahead and give me hands up if that's ever happened to you. Andrea, Vanessa, Nicole, thank you, Clarence, right? That's a message to you. Like, what was it about that wasn't personal? Did I convey a message that was real to me? Did I hook people at a completely different level? So you're able to really measure by looking at the likes, the views, the comments, and engagement. And there's sometimes that you're going to make a really gritty video. Might not have been your best performance. You might have stuttered a little bit on your words, might have just not been your highest quality video that got the best engagement. The best engagement. Melody, was that a new hand or was that just a reaction of what we just said?
No, it's a new hand.
Yeah, shoot.
So, you know, I coach very closely with John Cheplack. And it's funny because we got into a conversation the other day about, you know, what his first few events were like when he started his mastermind group, Cheplack Live, back in 2017, 2018. And, you know, I was telling him, I said, John, you know, there's so many things that I want to do for the world. There's so many things that I want to create. I have so many ideas all the time. And, you know, live events are my jam, and I want to learn how to elevate that. And he said, don't be so hard on yourself. Let me show you what my events were like in 2018 versus what my events are like today. And so today, if you were to go to a John Cheplack event, it's probably around $2,000-3,000 to be in the room. The room is filled with maybe 100, 200 agents. There are these big baller events at these beautiful ballroom and venues all across the country. But in 2018, he couldn't even fill one dining room table with attendees. He had maybe 10 people there, 20 people there at the most. And he didn't charge for them in the beginning because of the reputation he was trying to create, with the credibility that he needed to create within the real estate community, right? And so a lot of times you think, oh, poor me, you throw yourself a pity party, you think people are going to show up. That's just the beginning of you building credibility with your community. And you need to run that play over and over and over and over again and elevate it each time and get better and better and better at running that play. I'm using Jeff Phillips sports analogies because he threw a lot of those yesterday at the live prospecting call. Shout out to Jeff. But, you know, just start something. Like this morning, I did my Freedom Fridays event in my Facebook group. That's why I was late to the call. And so how many people showed up? I don't know, maybe 5 or 6, maybe more, maybe less. Not exactly sure, but I had fun doing it. And I connected with another amazing human being, and I got to know her, and I got to create a platform for her to promote her business and for her to get a following and to gain some momentum in the community that she never had exposure to before today, right? My community of people and friends. And so no matter what it is, just get out there and start. That's the biggest thing. And don't worry about your following. I mean, how many people did you have at group coaching when you first started this, Elias? 5 people? That's crazy. Like, and now there's 100 people on the call. Like,
there's 59, but there was 80 on Wednesday. We've had 100 people on the call, but I'm glad that you said that, because think of yourself as an MC. You wrote these amazing rhymes and poetry, and then you said, you know what, I'm just going to create a song. And you create a song, and you go to some fucking dive-ass bar, and there's one kid in the room, one kid named Cody over there, and he just feels it. He feels like you impacted that. And I don't care if Melody's room had 5 people or 500 in it. She connected with one person that's going to catapult her message. That one person is going to hopefully tell another 2 people, and so on and so forth, and the message grows. But you're an MC, and you might have wrote a song that not everyone gets just right now. But one person in the crowd is going like this: I rock with you, Ernesto. I rock with you. And then other people are going to rock with you, and you're just going to continue to build and build. But it's okay. Speak your purpose, and other people will follow. And even if it takes time, and Melody, I'm glad you said that about Chet. Like, I coach with Chet, and I'll tell you what, the guy is so dynamic. And to think less than 5 years ago, his rooms were small, super, super small. But he always had a vision and a mission, and look what he's done. And Mel, I love this. And Mel created this Freedom Fridays just a couple weeks ago. She wants to do something bigger, impact people at a bigger level. So absolutely love this. Let's go back to our slides here, you guys. One more thing I want to share with you guys before we continue on. Another thing about reflection, the golden hours. We call these prospecting hours, power hours, whatever you want to call it. In the book that I'm referring to, they call it golden hours. These are time blocks meant for prospecting and consumer, I call it's customer, but consumer engagement. And then there was another set of hours that were called platinum hours. And I really like the way that this is broken down. This is time blocks for you to really get organized with who you're going to call, how you're going to call them, spend some time managing the CRM, putting people in buckets, preparing the tasks, that so when you start your actual prospecting calls, that you have a really, really targeted focus. And let me share some thoughts on this. Give you an example. If I'm calling upstream partners, and we had this conversation a couple of days ago about upstream partners, that conversation is going to be a little bit different. Well, I could have categorized 10 to 20 people that I want to call that are upstream partners. That's a different approach. That's a different language. That's a different dialogue. That's a different cadence, right? Say I'm calling my sphere. That's the same thing. It's a different dialogue. It's a different cadence, a different rhythm. What if I'm calling all my open house leads? Same thing. It's different. So you start to bucket these people and say, okay, cool. Now I've spent my platinum hour organizing the people that now I'm going to call in my prospecting hour, my hour of power, whatever you call that. But I spent the time looking at them, like, cool. All right, I am ready. I have my dialogue for these different buckets, and here I go. Or I just focus on one of the buckets, completely up to you. But the thought is that you spend that time prepping and preparing, so you are laser focused with every single bucket that you're going into. And I love this breakdown of it, because it allows us to think and look at things a little bit different. Jennifer Gibson, you had your hand up. Is that an old hand or a new hand? And Mel, is that a new hand or old hand? Okay, thank you.
Old hand for me.
Okay, all right. If you could just lower your hand. All right, cool, you guys. So I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear thoughts, insight. I just want to hear a little bit of dialogue from you guys. You know, obviously I want to do some of the talking, but I want to hear from you guys as well. So let's hear from you. Amanda, you put something in the chat there. Amanda, let's hear why. So you said, love this. Let's hear a little bit more color behind that. Like, why? Where's your mind at? What are you thinking about right now?
First of all, I want to thank you, Elias, for encouraging me to do the Mother's Day event. I mean, the Easter egg hunt event. So I'm throwing another Mother's Day event tomorrow. I would just tell you guys that sometimes when I do things, I don't even have a plan, but I just announce it. Once I announce it to the public, I'm committed. And then I have to make it work. I have to somehow make it work and get volunteers around me. And that's how I do things most of the time. I really don't have a perfect plan before I make the announcement. I make the announcement first and then I make it perfect later.
I love that. I love that. Like, because what happens? You're declaring it to the world, and actually it goes perfectly with our next portion. She's declaring it to the world. She made a commitment to do this event, and it has a deadline on it, right? We're going to be doing this at 2 p.m. on Friday. We're going to be doing this at 5 p.m. on Saturday, whatever that. So now she has a deadline. So now there's some pressure for her to what? To work even harder to make sure that she does the actions to make sure that that deadline is met and get all the people there. So when is your event and what is it? Tell us a little bit about it.
So it's tomorrow from 9 to 11. It's a free Mother's Day portrait event. So I got 2 neighborhood photographers that I got for free. Otherwise, I would have to pay maybe $700 for 2 hours. I got this Krispy Kreme free coupons that I ordered maybe 2 dozen of Krispy Kreme donut for only $20. And I got a Calendly link having my logo, my real estate fast team logo and all that. And when people book it on my Calendly, they see my logos. They see my event, and I already got 2 neighbors that want to meet with me regarding their real estate need.
And how many people are you expecting to this event?
We have 24 families already signed up.
I mean, 24 families, and she's not talking about real estate at all, but her logo's on there, right? EXP's on there, Amanda Lau brand is on there. And what is she doing? She is building community. I absolutely love this. How many people did you have at your Easter event?
The last one? Oh,
Yep.
wow. We have 30 groups.
And I'm sure you're still engaging with people from that.
Yes. It's becoming like a movement in our neighborhood now. So people want to do more of this right now.
I mean, so that's something that every one of you can do. Every one of you can do. And I love this because I wanted to talk to you guys about a thought about doing these Fridays of more of like accountability full circle, and having this on Fridays be like a, not self-guided, but in a sense self-guided, because you have to do the work and have to hold yourselves accountable. But I think last year we talked about this, and I wanted to remind everybody about this. And if you've never seen it, after this call, I want you to watch it. And it's the video on YouTube that Reggie Miller scores 8 points in 9 minutes. And if you've never seen that, I highly, highly recommend that you watch that video. And the thoughts were, how did he make this happen, right? First off, he had a commitment similar to what Amanda has. He declared it publicly, right? I'm going to win, we're going to do this. And then the deadline approached, so he totally changed his behavior and performed at the highest level. You have to think about it this way. You guys need to make weekly commitments to yourself, and you have to declare it to the world, whether it's here in group coaching or whether it's to an accountability person. So what you do is you commit, you publicly declare it, and then you set a deadline to that. Stop making and saying things that you're going to do without some type of commitment or deadline. You got to put this onto your calendar and put some pressure behind it. Right? Like we always say, pressure creates diamonds. And then what I want to do is I want everyone to come on a Friday with a list of all of their commitments. And then when we come to the next week, we're going to go full circle, and I'm going to ask you guys some questions, and just to give you guys a precursor of some of the questions that I'll ask. I'm going to just pull up my document here. Hang tight really quick. All right, guys. So some of the questions that I want to ask you guys after I know obviously what your commitments are is I want to ask you guys if, let's see here. First off, did you even make a commitment for the week? Did you keep the commitment? And whether or not you did, I want to know what possibly stood in your way. You've heard me ask this question over and over again. In the realm of possibility, could you have kept that commitment? What did you learn about yourself by not keeping that commitment that you said that you wanted to do? And do you want to recommit? I want to acknowledge you guys for the ability to even step up and try, but also I want to help you guys get really, really focused and in alignment with what you're doing, so we are all collectively coming together. Because I promise you, If Melody said, I am hosting an event on Tuesday, it's at 2:00. We come back on Friday, be like, Melody, did you hit your commitment? Did you do your event? No. What stood in your way? This and that. In the realm of possibility, were you able to do that, Mel? Well, yeah. So do you want to recommit, or do you want to set a new goal for this week? I want to have more of that, right? And I think that if we use this platform, since we're all here, be a great opportunity, because I want to hear from you guys, and I want the Marissas, and I want the Christians, and I want the Michael Spivey's to say it to the world, because what is the highest form of love in our environment? It's accountability, right? I can see Michael in the office like, bro, how you doing, man? How's that event coming along, man? You need any support from me? I'm looking forward to being there. He is getting accountability from his brothers and sisters, right? He declared it to the world. So I want you guys to, first off, I want you to watch that video. Reggie Miller scores 8 points in 9 minutes, and really, really analyze that and how he made that happen. And like I said, you guys, it was literally that simple, but you have to say, you know what? I'm gonna start declaring things to the world, and I'm gonna share that in group coaching. And then, and this is not about public shame at all. Or sorry, 9 seconds. Yeah, 8 points in 9 seconds. I want to be able to not publicly shame, but to help us all get better and improve and reach our goals and reach our, financial goals that we've all set for ourselves. Because let's face it, you guys, we're midway through the year. We are midway through the year. You guys have the ability to still change the course of your, thank you, Tom, for putting that in. Appreciate that. So let's do this, you guys. I want to have some conversations. I want to go full circle and hear from you guys. So let's go over to Michael Spivey. And Michael Spivey, you showed up in a big way yesterday. I appreciate your insight. I appreciate your thoughts. I appreciate your hustle. Michael, kind of where's your head at, man? And what are some things that you're thinking about right now?
Just far as like goals go?
Yeah, Mike, this conversation, bro, what sparked, what are you thinking?
So overall, just from this entire conversation, one thing I took away would definitely be just looking at the details and say that moment where he is winning or that moment where they do shine. Truly, it has nothing to do with that moment. That already happened in the past, and it's the preparation that goes into those details and just repetition. And yes, it just shows in a very fantastic way at the end, but it's just it's how you practice. So really practicing at a high level, and then you can perform at those high levels easily. But just kind of tying that all in, just kind of looking at how is the practice going, and then what will that, look like in the future as far as the game day, if that comparison makes sense.
I love it. When this is why deadlines are so important, and I don't think we do enough of this, you guys. So I'm creating standard operating procedures for the entire sales coaching and training department right now. And I gave myself a deadline of next Friday. I work really, really well under pressure, and it like pushes myself to make sure that I hit that deadline. Like, I'm not going to miss, right? And it says here, like I said, the deadline was approaching. So Reggie Miller totally changed his behavior and performed at his highest level. I believe that if you give yourself a deadline and you give yourself some pressure, you're going to perform at a high level, or you're not going to rise to the occasion. But you guys are all winners, so I believe that you're going to perform at your highest level. So Michael, I appreciate your insights. Let's go over to Marissa, one of our new guests on the line today. Marissa, thoughts and takeaways thus far from our time together?
I need to loosen up and not be so hard on myself. I know I told you yesterday on the phone that I put a lot of pressure on myself to do things and do it well and do it great straight out of the gate. And I need to give myself some grace. And I think setting the deadlines, putting some healthy pressure on myself to get things done in a realistic amount of time is what's going to help me be more successful in this business, because I'm not always going to get it right. I'm not always going to be the best at it, but you learn from that and then you move on and you can do better next time.
Totally, because you weren't always a expert or perfectionist in being a dental hygienist. You didn't go in right away and like your hand was super steady. Like you learn that skill over time. It's the same. It applies in every single field. So yeah, 100%. I appreciate that. Big Dog, let's go to you, Chris. Let's hear from you, man, up in Sacramento. What are your thoughts and what are some of your takeaways from today's call?
Hey, good morning, Team Fast. My takeaways were just have willful intent and set your goals for a week. For me, mine is holding multiple open houses every weekend. About a month and a half ago, I was like, we have all these listings coming up, and no one's really taking advantage of it. So I made sure with a bunch of buyers.
Okay.
You hear me? Okay. Connected with a lot of buyers, and I got $1.1 million in escrow from somebody that I met through one of my listings. And I'm working with multiple buyers right now with open houses, just by just communicating, connecting, just being yourself. So doing that has changed a lot, and really in 2 weeks had me potential of making 100 grand in commissions just out of focusing on open houses for a month. So yeah, just have willful intent of what you plan to do and just go do it.
Love this. I love this, Chris. Ernesto, you and Juan had talked a little bit about your script and how you're going after open house opportunities, and you've had some major wins in the last couple of weeks. You want to kind of share that with the people that are on this call that were not at our session yesterday, and how that's been working for you to develop open house opportunities?
Yeah, it's very easy, and I'm going to be 100% transparent about exactly what I do and how I do it. I go on Redfin on Wednesdays and Thursdays when new listings typically go live. Friday's kind of last minute, so I really focus Wednesday on Thursday. It's in my calendar just to remind myself to do this. We call it open house hunting. So we go on Redfin, you go on, you know what, do you want me to share my screen? Is that okay?
Yeah, let's do that, man. I'm going to give you share screen rights. Boom, go.
Okay, this is Redfin. Let's say, and what's cool about this is I can do this in any city. So let's say, I don't know, life happens and I move to Sacramento. Okay, go to Sacramento. I'm a brand new agent. I don't know how to build my business. I don't really have a lead source. So now I'm going to go to only listings that are currently active. Then I'm going to go to home type. Let's say I want to focus on single family houses, or let's say, I don't know, I want to develop my reputation as the open house and condo or condo and townhome expert. I can do those instead. So for the sake of this example, I'm just going to go to houses. Then I'm going to filter by time on Redfin. So I want them in order of newest. So like my ideal open house, first weekend, well photographed, well staged. And these 4 listings, these first 4, none of these have an open house yet. And this one looks gorgeous. So I'm going to click on it. Just make sure it shows well. Yeah, it shows really well. They probably could have got professional photos. They're dark, but this looks like a great listing. They don't have an open house. I'm just going to call the agent. My script is, and what I've been teaching Alex is, I'm not asking you for a favor. I'm offering you an opportunity. So ring, ring, Elias.
Hi.
Hey, Elias. Good morning. This is Ernesto.
What's up, Ernesto? How are you?
I always pretend like I know you, even if we've never met. Hey, this is Ernesto.
Hey, what's up, Ernesto?
Hey, I was calling about your listing at, sorry, I blocked the address, 43030 Magnifica Lane in Sacramento.
Yeah, it just went live, man.
On Magnifica, it looks magnificent. It's beautiful, man. I think you did a really, really good job prepping that listing. It looks great.
Awesome, man. Thank you. Yeah, what's up?
Yeah. Hey, I'm curious, what are your plans for hosting an open house this weekend?
We haven't put one on the books just yet.
Okay. Am I asked why?
Yeah, we don't really have a reason. We just opted not to.
Okay. Well, given my experience, what I find is that a lot of busy listing agents like yourself, you probably have a lot of, I don't know, family commitments going on over the weekend, and you're trying to make it work. Does that sound like something that might be you?
Yeah, for this weekend's Mother's Day, and we wanted to go and see Grandma.
Mother's Day, dude, I totally get it. I totally get it. Well, my mom lives in LA. I'm not gonna be able to visit her. So I'll tell you what, I'm gonna offer you an opportunity. What if I could take this off your hands so that way your seller gets maximum exposure? Everybody that wants to see the house can see it, and then you can go enjoy your weekend with your mom.
Oh, like take it off my hands, like buy it?
No, I'm gonna take your open house off your hands so you don't have to worry about it.
Oh, well, yeah, sure, man. That's okay. You do that?
Awesome. Yeah, no, I do this every weekend. I do this for other brokerages all the time. I bring cookies, I bring flyers, I bring good energy, and I'm going to give you plenty of feedback on everybody that comes through at the end of my shift every day. How does that sound?
Beautiful.
cool, let's do it. That's exactly what I do Wednesday and Thursday. And this weekend, yeah, I mean, every weekend I have open houses. I love open houses. So that's how I do.
So stop your share really quick. You guys, really simple. But here's the thing that he does. He puts it on his calendar. There's a deadline. He calls, he books for the appointments, and it's repetitious. He does that. He actually landed more open houses than he could actually take. So he had to share those opportunities with other team members. Right? So
last weekend, I had other agents emailing me the day after, hey, Ernesto, my office needs open house coverage. Is there, can you still help? And I gave them to, I think there was 3 other agents, Raymond, Rosales, Danielle, and somebody else. So sometimes I get more than I can handle, and I just spread the wealth. And these are first weekend open houses. So yeah.
Absolutely love that. And I appreciate you sharing that, you guys. So, this conversation comes down to making sure that you are not procrastinating. You're not a perfectionist. You're not a paralysis. You're not in paralysis. You have to make sure that you're truly finding ways to measure what you're doing. You might think that you're great on social, but I promise you, if you just did something a little bit different, you might get different responses. You have to look at what you are sending and what your copy is and what your hooks are. And is it getting people to actually open your emails? And are you tracking your open rates, right? Are you listening to the way that you communicate on the phone? Are you aware of the ums, the ahs, the so's, the pause, the nuances, and things that you are or are not doing on the call? Because how can you actually improve? Why do football players watch tape? They watch tape to be able to go back and look at, like, dang it, I missed my assignment. I missed that guy coming from the right? So you guys have to look at this in completely different ways. And then you have to make sure that you are giving yourself deadlines and you're putting those things in your calendar. I know it sounds rudimentary, but sometimes it's important to go back to the fundamentals, because that's what truly has worked for us for years and years. Chris, you had one more thing?
Yeah, I just wanted to give a tidbit to everybody about getting business from the vendors you work with like locksmith, contractors, carpet cleaners, pool cleaners. I'm running around meeting vendors all the time for clients, and just asking you saw receipts. My carpet cleaner just gave me a referral for someone sold their house in Atomis, and she happens to be an owner of Vampire Penguin, who was this snow cone business. And not only did I land that listing for $800K, she wants me to find her a $1 million house in the Folsom El Dorado Hills area. So I was like, that's like $45K of total commissions that I landed for my carpet cleaner just by asking him. Locksmith, any vendors you have, just connect with everybody on a personal level. Don't just ignore them when they come, when you meet them and doing a service for you. Conversate with them, talk to them, ask them how they're doing. And that alone, you should get referrals every year just for your vendors alone. So reach out, ask, make it happen. And yeah.
Love it. You guys, in the coming weeks, we're going to have quite a few special guests on group coaching on Wednesdays. One of the ones that we're going to be hearing is Justin Sodard. He does a whole presentation, and it is called the Upstream Model. This is about, when we talked about this last week, this is about getting the opportunities before they hit the stream, right? Think about it, divorce attorneys. When you think about the people that are the architects, when you think about the people that before that actually hits the masses, that you're actually having those partnership relationships with those upstream partners. He's going to break this whole process down. You guys, it is a game changer. And so I'm excited to bring him in. We're going to spread the word, make sure that the house is packed for him. So you guys, I appreciate you. And one more thing, Ernesto.
Yeah, can you share his, I didn't grab his username on Instagram, Justin Dodart?
Boom. Stodart.
Oh, Stodart.
Yep. So you guys, I appreciate you, and I appreciate you continuing to show up. For the people that are attending boot camp, that starts Monday. That shit's going to be hard. We're here to support you guys. Even if you're not in boot camp, we are still going to be sharing some of the detailed work with you guys and the missions that we're on. So get prepared, because Monday comes quick. If you haven't got all your homework in, please make sure to submit that. That way you guys can be a part of this amazing journey with us. So have a wonderful weekend. To all the moms out there, to all the stepmoms out there, to all the fathers out there that are, doing all their duties as well. Seriously, happy Mother's Day weekend to you. Have an amazing time. Eat brunch, have champagne, be spoiled, do the things that are special to you, and have a day to really embrace your time as a mother. So appreciate you guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Peace, and thank you for always showing up. Beyond grateful for you guys. Bye now. Hey, Marissa, do you have a second to stay on?
Yeah, I can stay on.
Okay, cool. Y'all don't have to leave, but you can't stay here.
Get out.
Appreciate you guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, okay? All right, cool. All right, let me just make sure everyone else is out.
Okay.
Cool. All right,
Put me on the
Carla.
spot today. Put me on the spot. Make me sweat.
Let's go remove. Hey, Dawn, I'm going to have you hop out really quick. Daisy, I'm going to have you hop out. All right, let me just get, don't report them. And then I'm going to remove, and then don't report. And then Carla, I'm going to have you hop out as well. Cool. And then I will. All right.
There's a lot of people.
Yeah, this is a really, really powerful group. And then I'm going to get my bot out of here as well. Cool. How are you? Nice to meet you.
I'm good. Yeah, nice to see you.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that I could actually say hello and officially introduce myself. So yeah, thoughts. I mean, this is your first introduction to group coaching, something that we covet and something that is really, really important to us. So, you know, did you have any other questions about anything?
I don't know if I have any questions right now. I'll probably think of a few later today because it always happens. But cool. Yeah. I thought the call was great. I like hearing what the other agents are doing. You know, I know that you're talking about your subject for the day and going through your things that you want to discuss, but it was kind of nice to hear, like with Ernesto, what he was doing with Redfin. And I like how everybody kind of shares ideas, and that's great. I mean, that's a huge takeaway to just be like, oh yeah, I can do that. Hop on Redfin, give somebody a call, see if I can get an open house. So
easy, right?
I like that you guys connect like that and sort of bring everybody together to share.
Yep.
And it's not an all for one type of.
It's like I look at myself like this as a coach and as a leader. Like I also look at myself as a moderator, right? Mm-hmm. I'm here to like get the foundation out. Here's some thoughts. Here's some ideas. Let's get the gears rolling. But then I want to turn it over to you guys, and because then I want to hear your insight and your dialogue, because that's where the power is, right? Like I'm just here to moderate the group and like make sure that the train's moving down the tracks. But it's all about you guys. All about you guys.
Yeah. I love that. Cool. And I thought it was great.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you being here. Thank you for showing up. And then if you have any questions, let me know. And you are a mom of twins that are 7, right?
Yes.
Awesome. Well, happy Mother's Day to you. And if you have any questions of anything, just let me know. But I just want to say hello.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
All right, Marissa, have a wonderful weekend. Yeah,
thanks.
you got it.
You too.
Bye now.
Okay, bye.